Hi there! If you are tired of having this instead of long and beautiful blonde, then this video is for you. I have an 8-year-old blonde history with a small interruption on my natural hair. And this recipe that I'm going to show you is the best way to dye your hair in blonde ever. My hair is more healthy now than it used to be in its natural condition. The idea is not to use powder and supra and not to bleach hair, but dye it instead. So we begin with roots, and the first thing you need to do is to divide your head on 4 equal sections. By the way, this method is suitable for hair color starting from 6, mine is 7. Meaning that if you have a slightly darker hair, then you can use it. If you have a very dark hair, then unfortunately this hair dye will not be able to bring you a good result. You do not have to make strictly equal segments, just approximate. I'm going to speed up this, so have a look. As I told you, they don't have to be equal. Okay, now it's time to apply the formula. You can see it on the screen. I use Vela Colistone Special Blonde and the color direction is Pearl Ash. But frankly speaking, this is not very significant. You can use some other similar directions. The most important part, which really makes an influence, is hair toning, and this will be the next step. So, as you can see from the video now, this time I had only 25 grams of dye, and it is a minimal amount. It's better to have 30 though. The ratio is 1 to 2, meaning that you have to take 2 parts of oxidant to 1 part of dye. It is really desirable to use scales to get better results. Now you should mix it very well to get a smooth, homogeneous mixture. It's quite thick, so you will not have problems applying it on roots. I decided to record the whole picture of what's going on when I dye myself. So, you should always start from one of the 2 behind zones, as this part of head usually has more warm pigments. I use 2 mirrors to see everything I do, and remember that you have 20 minutes to apply all the mixture all over your head. This means that you have approximately 5 minutes for each segment. Behind zones are more difficult for application, but this is a matter of habit. You will do this without any problems after 1 or 2 experiences. So don't worry and just try. You need to apply it densely so that all the hair is dyed. And I usually do 1.5 centimeters partings in the hair. I will show you this right now. And sometimes I take even 2 centimeters width hair parts, but it's better to take 1.5. Then you will get a more clear result. I know that masters recommend to take 1 centimeter width parts, but I am not a professional and I'm quite satisfied with what I get taking 1.5. By the way, you should dye hairline edges, I mean side parts of hair near your ears, at the last moment after you dyed all the 4 segments. That's because the hair there is very thin. Now I'm going to show you how to dye front parts, and before you do this, you should make such moves as I show you on the video, so that the oxygen goes directly to the hair and the reaction goes better. So basically you repeat all of your actions for 2 front parts. And what I wanted to tell you also is, do not be afraid to apply some of the mixture on previously dyed hair. I mean, like 1 or 2 millimeters is okay to be applied one more time. Nothing bad will happen because it's not a powder or a supra, but of course you should not apply it on purpose, as it can result in some too white, too light lines. But the idea is, do not be afraid that your work will not be ideal. It will not ruin your hair. Your hair will not fall down. Now you should repeat this oxygen pass moves and dye last part. After you finished with this and all of your roots are covered with dye, you should wait 40 minutes. You can make sure that the result is good by removing some of the dye with your fingers. But trust me, 40 minutes is enough for the hair color of 6 and above. I washed my hair with a shampoo and I dried it on purpose to show you the intermediate result. Actually, I do not need it to be dry now, because I will do toning and it should be done on wet hair. But maybe some of you would be satisfied with this stage, so I show you just in case. As for me, I have a lot of golden warm pigment in my hair and I want it to be cooler. For this purpose, I use 2 directions of Matrix Color Sync dye without ammonia, 10V and 10P. 10V, meaning violet, is used to neutralize this yellow color of blonde, which I currently naturally have. And 10P, meaning pearl, is the color that I want to get. So if you have this golden warm to yellow blonde, but you want to have some other color, you can use this formula consisting of 1 part of 10V to neutralize this yellow color, and another part can consist of any color you want. For instance, 10A is 10 ash, if you want some ash blonde. For this type of hair toning, I use a 3% oxidant, which is totally safe for hair. Moreover, my hair looks even better after the toning. I think that's because it receives some pigments. And you should mix it very well. This mixture is more thin. So what is really important here is that you should start from the roots, because the roots will need more time to absorb the toning. And as for the process of application, of course it is less strict. I am using like 5 or 6 centimeter width hair pots. You can see this on the video right now. But you should act more quick. With toning, you have approximately 5 minutes for roots and 3 minutes for the lens. It is more convenient to apply the mixture on the roots from the back using a bath. And same for the hair length. At some point, it's easier to start using fingers for application. And what I want to say is that I don't like to use gloves. And I hope that I don't need them because it's only 3% oxidant. But you need to apply cream after this because hands become dry. Do not forget that your hair should be generously covered with dye, because if it's not, then the toning results will be not good enough. So do not try to reduce the amount of dye. You can figure out the length of my hair from this video. And please keep in mind that I use 90 grams of dye and 90 grams of oxidant for my hair length. By the way, as for the length, I usually divide my hair in 3 parts and apply all of the mixture evenly. A small tip here is to wipe the bowl with your hair so that all of the dye is used. If you spend no more than 8 minutes for application, then you should wait another 20 minutes. Your hair will become too bright. Don't be afraid of this. And here is my result. It tells you as much as nothing, so I have to dry it. Now you can estimate it. I'm going to show you the hair color using different lights so that you can get a better understanding of what is the real color, because camera will not show it to you adequate anyway. What I like most of all in this method is that the hair is healthy. It really is, because I've been dyeing it this way since 2020. Yes, tough quarantine times. Look at this, camera is showing so different colors. So basically all of the length which I currently have was dyed this way. And it is soft, alive, and easy to deal with. I sincerely recommend you to use this recipe. Wish you all the best. Please subscribe and goodbye.